Hello and welcome to Inside Music, episode number 180. As always, I'm your host, James Shotwell, and it is great to be with you again. I hope you're well wherever you are, be it in a car, or in your apartment, or in your house, or whatever it is you're doing right now while you're listening to the show. Know that we appreciate it, and we hope the day is treating you well. It's raining right here now in the Midwest. It's been raining for the last 24 hours, in fact, and while that gray overcast sky can make you a little bit down, it has also lowered the temperature. And I don't know about you, but I like my Octobers cool and filled with sweatshirts and beanies and all things Halloween. And that's kind of where we're at right now as I'm looking out the window here in my office. My guest on today's episode is none other than Shi, lead vocalist for the band Savage After Midnight. And if you don't know who they are, I think you will very soon, especially if you're tuned into the world of rock. Savage After Midnight are currently opening an arena tour, which is led by Shinedown, Papa Roach, and Asking Alexandria, three immensely popular bands, all of whom have taken an interest in making sure Savage After Midnight gets ahead. Now, the curious thing about Savage After Midnight is that they've actually been together for the better part of a decade, at least the principal members. But there was a name change, there was a label deal, there's a whole bunch of industry stuff that happened that kept the band from going public until just this year. Their first single, 10 Feet Tall, came out at the end of 2018 and has found a lot of success in the streaming world, and the group's debut EP, 1159, is quickly following suit. The band has a lot more already in the canon, ready to share with the public, and that's a lot of what we talk about in this episode. Shi tells me about the hurdles of the industry, learning to navigate it, and keeping your faith in what you're doing, even when things seem hard or frustrating or difficult. We talk about what it's like to figure out what songs you're going to release and how to make a radio edit and how to pick the right tours and how to deal with infighting with your bandmates when you're trying to decide what makes the record, what doesn't make the record, what makes the edit, what doesn't make the edit. There's a lot of industry inside baseball happening in this episode. So if you're a musician trying to find a successful path in this business, or if you're somebody who wants to work in music, this is definitely an episode you're going to want to pay attention to. Now, before we get there, I do want to tell you a few quick things. This episode of Inside Music, as well as all episodes of the show, are brought to you by Holix, the industry standard for music promotion. Now, Holix works with record labels, independent publicists, artists, and other people in the industry to share new and unreleased music with tastemakers. Some of the artists who trust Holix to share their music include Blink-182, Green Day, Weezer, Fall Out Boy, Savage After Midnight, Shinedown, Papa Roach, Asking Alexandria, Metallica, Slipknot, Killswitch Engage, and thousands upon thousands more. Steve Aoki, Mariah Carey, I could go on and on. The point is, all these people trust Holix, and you should too. To use Holix for your promotional needs, head over to Holix.com. That's Haulix.com. And when you get there, click the sign up button in the upper right-hand corner, and you will get your first month of service absolutely free, courtesy of Inside Music. So go to Holix.com today. That's Haulix.com today and sign up. I also want to encourage you to check out our YouTube channel. Yes, we're on YouTube now. I host a ton of video content there, and I want you to check it out. Our channel is called Music Biz. We got the URL this week, and we post 3 to 5 videos informing you about the latest happenings in the industry, how to navigate the industry, and what we can learn from the success of others who came before us. So please, go to YouTube and check out Music Biz. That's Music B-I-Z. Finally, obviously, you need to be listening to Savage After Midnight. I think this band is destined for big things, and they're doing everything right. They know how to work with the industry, or work within the industry machine, if you will, to get ahead, and they're always looking for new ways to expose themselves to fans, to build new fans, and engage with their community. This conversation is going to give you a lot of insight into who they are and how they function, but please check out their EP 1159, or at the very least, stream 10 Feet Tall, and just get ready to watch this band take over the world of rock. But right now, sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with Shi from Savage After Midnight. Be good. All right, man. How are you doing today?
Doing well, doing well.
I hear you
man.
just got out of the shower. So
I did. I'm actually nice and clean for once.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, it feels great.
Venues like this on the tour, though, you should have showers like every day, right?
Yeah. The arenas are definitely where it's at, man. The catering is always bomb, and you know the showers are always nice. So
definitely can't say the same about like 600-person rock clubs or something like that.
No, we actually wet wipe those clubs.
That's good. I like a good tour shower story. That's a good one.
And we're just keeping it. Our hygiene is on point. I'll tell you that.
Well, it's good to know heading into an evening. You guys are the first band on this tour playing every night. How is that? We're just going to dive right in. I'm real bad at introductions.
No,
how has that been for you guys? I like talking to bands that are opening arena shows because I feel like it's a unique challenge in that you don't know how many people are there. I mean, the lights are usually down, so who knows if you can even tell how many people are there. But there's always like is there going to be a ton of people there right when the doors open, or are they just flooding in as you're on stage? How's that experience been?
It's a mix. It really depends on one day of the week. If it's on a weekend, it's always like there's a lot more people when the lights come up. And you're right, when we walk out, it's pitch black. We can't really tell the depth of anything. We can't really see into the stands, like how many seats are filled at that moment. But when the lights come up, it's the tell all, right? So weekends definitely better just because of of course people are hanging out during the day on the weekend. They're like, they get bored, they want to go to the show. Weekdays, it's really hit or miss whether they're actually physically running in. I've literally watched them at times run across the floor towards us, which is pretty remarkable. But it's one way or another. I mean, there's always several thousand people in front of us before we even play, and that's a testament really to Shinedown, Papa Roach, and asking their crowd. We're a baby band. We're just we're coming out here cutting our teeth, and it's cool to be on something of this magnitude this early out of the gate.
It's weird. This is a unique stop on this tour because Papa and Asking were literally here on August 20th across the street at Tony Monroe Live. So they weren't even announced as part of this show until like the day after that on August 21st. So until then, it was just Shinedown and Savage After Midnight. I was like, damn, those guys are going to have like a direct support night. That's so cool. And the day after, I was like, that's why. There we go.
They got slick on us. We've done a lot of direct support for Shinedown in the past, which is really, really cool. I mean, we did a run earlier, the beginning of last year, with them as direct support. And we literally didn't even have a record out yet at all. It was just getting out there, testing the waters, seeing how things were going to be. I think we were in the midst of our record deal at that time. So it was, just getting out there, just, having a good time and whatever. But yeah, like sea of people, direct support's definitely the slot, but, either way it goes, just to be on with the, caliber of Papa Roach and Asking as well as, it's pretty gnarly.
It is like a good cosign, right? Because this is a really good tour package where anyone that likes one band should like all the bands. So if they don't know you going in, they should be. There's like that little bit of like, well, I like those other three bands, so probably aren't going to screw me on the fourth one.
Right? They're probably not going to just put some trash on the other one.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a good tour because all those bands seem to actually give a damn about developing the next generation of rock acts, whoever that may be.
That is so true, and that is the first time I've actually ever heard anybody come out and say it.
Well, to be fair, last month when the tour rolled through, they had Bad Wolves was opening. So I sat down with Tommy from Bad Wolves, and he would not say enough about like Jacoby kind of mentoring him, and also Danny from Asking, obviously. So I had that in my head rolling around when I was coming to talk to you. Is like, oh, Tommy was like, those guys really care about new rock.
Tommy's a cool dude, man. Like I met Tommy, unfortunately. I say that it was at a funeral. So my best friend is Shannon Guns from Sirius.
Yeah.
And when her boyfriend Cato, which is a really good friend of mine as well, when he passed away, boyfriend at the time, when he passed away, I met Tommy out. It was cool. Bonded really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Great dude. I actually think we all went to see an Avengers movie together.
Amazing.
Yeah, but super cool cat. And
I always tell people he looks like the Hulk because he's such a big guy.
A big dude,
right? You feel like you're in shape until you sit next to him.
Yeah, I walk up next to him like, oh my god,
right?
He's just an enormous human.
It's obvious he used to be a security guard. He has that build of like he could throw somebody.
Tommy, if you listen to this, I'm gonna drop kick you in the chest. How do you feel about that?
And he won't move.
No, he won't budge.
I want to talk about the history of the band a little bit because I find your story is amazing because it is weird in a way that it's like There's their debut release, but I know most of you guys have been playing together for a long time, and there's the name changes and all that. But I'm mostly curious about, like, there's the songs the world has heard, but how many songs do you kind of have in the canon ready to share with the world? Is there a lot of recorded stuff? Or
Oh
just
my God.
songs on paper? Like,
wow. Yeah, you're digging in the right grave. Like, there's an immense amount of music that we have composed, piled up, recorded, and honestly, a lot of it's ready to release. I mean, like, from, you know, cover tunes to you know, originals. We have a massive amount of material, and like this, the new record that'll be coming out at some point, 1201. I mean, it's done, you know. So, and it's mind blowing. It's really hard to pick the songs. Like, it's getting to the point where it's like, I really want to put that one on, and we're only playing the stuff on this tour that's off of this record. We're not even playing any of the stuff that's going to be on 1201. So the first record was 1159. This one's 1201. So it's kind of like the lineage, like Savage After Midnight. So, but yeah, like massive amount. And some of it crossover. Like we've got a song that's going to make the new record. It's called Run From Me. And it's a crossover song. It's more alt than anything else, and it's a really different take on the band, you know? And to me, it's like, we're not trying to be pigeonholed as one thing or another. I mean, if I wanted to get up there and sing country, I'm going to get up there and sing country. If I'm going to get up there and rap, I'm going to rap. I don't care. Like, we write songs and we perform songs. That's it. Like, there's no genre and crossing, and we don't care at all.
This is a good tour for that to be your mindset.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
Like, because every band's got something different. You got, you know, from Second Chances, you know, with Shine Down, and into, you know, Boom Lay or something like that from Shine Down. It's just, some people would be like, that's two different bands, you know? Same thing with Papa Roach. Same thing with Asking Alexandria, and like coming from like super metal into, you know, this rock era that they're in now, which is like progressive and pushing the limits of rock and roll, which hats off to them.
Yeah.
Just amazing band.
So when it came time to developing 1159, was that all new material, or was that like the best of what you guys have been sitting on? Like, what is that release in terms of?
Honestly, that was just that was a pick. Like, we didn't even get to pick. That was the label picking and going, okay, we're gonna put these songs on. Like, this is what we want to do. Because like, I had to argue with them to get. I wanted to do singles. I wanted to go single, and just keep rolling that route. And they were like, no, like, we want to go full record. So we met in the middle.
Fair enough.
Yeah, on the first record being broken into 2 EPs. Yeah. So, and they got to pick the songs. And on the new one, I think the trust is built, and we're able, you know, we're picking what's on the new record. So.
Now, this is something I want to know about, because I always find it curious. When it comes time to do, like, you guys did a radio edit for Unleash, and it's like 30 seconds shorter than the record version. How many mixes did you go through to pick that radio version? Like, that process. Sometimes it's really simple, you know. Sometimes it's like we cut a scream, or we shorten the bridge or something. But in this case, I want to know. I know that obviously there's some stuff to trim off the beginning of the song if you want to make it radio friendly. But how many mixes does it take to actually get to, like, this is the version that works?
Immense amount. Like, it's literally because some people like cling on to so many, like, maybe that's their one element in the song, you know, that one, you know, moment in the song that, you know, makes their, you know, skin crawl, you know. They just have to have it there, you know. And then you've got so many brains behind it, because you're trying to make your label happy, you're trying to make everybody in the band happy, everybody's trying to make everybody happy, and at the end of the day, somebody's not going to be happy, you know. So yeah, after like beating our head against the wall, I will say that it's funny you brought that up, because we definitely learned from that experience that it's like pick it and stick it, because now we're wasting time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, so sometimes I've got to be the death grip on it and just go, nope, that's it. Of course, somebody hates me and I'm the dictator or whatever, but at the end of the day, we got a song to put out.
Yeah,
you know,
gotta promote it, right?
That's it.
Now, do you think that going through that process will inform songwriting moving forward? Because now you're like, okay, well, if we want to do a 5-minute version of this song, mentally, I have to know how to make it 4 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Another 100% nailed it. I mean, man, it's like you've done this before, man. You do your research.
Yeah, I've been doing this as long as you've been playing with these guys.
Okay.
So but I get fascinated. My thing isn't so much. I don't want to be like, what's it like being on tour? I know how it's like being on tour. I've done tour managing and all that, but I want to know the business of music is what I'm interested in.
Oh,
so when I see like radio edits, I'm just like, oh no, this is like that's a debate. That's phone calls. That's emails.
Oh yes, it is.
That's a lot of.
That's fist fights. That's screaming. Like we got a debate going right now. There's one song we pretty much know everything's going on the record. It's done. 1201. We're having a debate right now on one song that it's called Signals. I prefer the first half of the original chorus.
Okay.
And my guitar player prefers the first half of the chorus being a new version that he wrote. And we are at this like crossroads, like two rams on the side of a mountain just smashing each other. Like who's gonna win? Oh yeah, for sure. that is the hot topic on Betty White here, our bus.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I like that. I love that kind of thing, and I love there's always that one song that gets cut from the record, and then you get closer to releasing. Now we'll put it back on there. Then now we're gonna cut it again, and half the time that ends up being the one people actually care about the most, and you're just like, what the hell?
Yep, that's that was the argument with the label for Heartless Machine.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. You're nailing it.
Yeah.
Nailing it. That's literally, I mean, that was a debate. Like it wasn't going, it was going, it wasn't going, it was going, it wasn't going. And like finally it was like, I was like, hey, look, that is my favorite song on the record.
Mm-hmm.
Make it work.
People are going to like it. And they're like, oh, doesn't,
honestly, I didn't even care about that. I just love the song. I was like, that is my favorite song. That like Heartless Machine is just a testament song,
Yeah.
It's like we've been through so much, and that song to me, it's just like we've been led to believe if we sound more like this, we could do this, or hey, if you did this, if you just change your image to this, we could help you. And we fought through that for so many years and years, until we finally were just exhausted. And we're like, okay, I don't give a flying about any of this. Like, I don't even care if we're a band anymore.
Yeah.
Let's literally go write some songs and have a good time with it like we started this thing.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, that's what landed the deal. And we had just a bucket full of songs. I mean, literally I remember looking on the wall and we would write song titles down as we go. And there was upwards of 60, 70 song titles of just completely finished songs. And they're still sitting there.
The music business.
Yes. Isn't it something?
It is really something. You guys are in a really good position right now, though, because it seems like people are reacting to the EP. You're on a tour where it makes sense for the band. It feels like it's going to push you forward now. How do you build on this momentum as we head towards? This is a question I'm sure the label asked. Now, what do we do from here to get to the actual album coming out? What's the next steps in building the steam behind Savage After Midnight?
So the next step is really figuring out how the promotions for the new record's going to go. Like as far as the touring, and that's always a perpetual thing. The more you're out there, the more just the better things get. Like they look at the metrics, like the behind the scenes stuff that probably you care about and maybe the listeners don't. But there's metrics, so they're measuring everything, and it's increasingly harder for them to. It's increasingly harder for them to figure out like how well you're actually doing, because how Facebook and Instagram, those are two of the major platforms that have done it, have changed around their algorithms. Yeah. So back in the day, like you notice now how Instagram is not chronological anymore, right? Yes. And that's all to monetize it. It's so you get all those boost your posts. Well, like there's people on there, like my brother, for instance, he said something to me the other day, and like, I didn't even know it affected him. He was like, man, you never comment on any of my stuff. I'm like, you never post. And he's like, It was actually a couple months ago. And he's like, I'm like, you never post. He's like, I post all the time. You just don't, he goes, I guess you're too busy, you can't see it. And I'm like, started clicking. I was like, holy crap. Like, not even his posts are coming up in my feed, you know? Mm-hmm. And so, like, with that being said, like, figuring out a way to put out your music and get it out there to where the masses can actually get it and receive it. You know, it doesn't matter how many followers you have on this, followers you have on that. Like, they're making it increasingly difficult. If you want followers, you've got to go through their methods, and that always costs money. So then your label's looking at it like, where do we spend the money to get the band the visibility? Mm-hmm. And it's an uphill dogfight. It's not like back in the day when I think MySpace or something was like out and kicking. Like, I think there were bands. I think there's a story about like Hinder where they blew up off of that platform. Yeah. You know, and like I was a kid and I didn't know. I just kept seeing them everywhere, you know. And to me, it was like, it's not that way anymore. It's really, really hard for artists to come out and do that. So to answer your question, I would say that right now is formulating the game plan in which to get this to everybody to where they can hear it. You know, it's just figuring out what's the right place to spend the right dollars so that we can get the visibility up where it needs to be, because it's all pay to play no matter what you say. It's crooked.
It very much is. I always tell people these days that like there was a time in social media especially where it was like people just liked everything that you liked and the content just kept coming. But now my brain always says to people like the things that you really care about, because that's the only thing you're going to see for like the next week or so.
100%.
So like we just did a video for our YouTube channel on Bad Wolves, and so I had been tagging them and stuff. So now when I log into Instagram, it's like my girlfriend, and then like Bad Wolves, then Tommy, and then like Doc. It was like the first 4 every time, and I'm just like, well, now that's the only thing I'm going to see for the next week is just this stuff. So if you want to see more from an artist, you have to specifically like their posts and not like a ton of other posts, because if you just go through liking everything, you're never going to see anything.
Yep, it's definitely the truth. And it, like I said, I mean, that makes it increasingly difficult for young artists to get out there. Mm-hmm. You know, if you don't have a label and you don't have like a massive bank account, mm-hmm. you know, one or the other or both, you know, the odds of you getting the visibility you need are just very, very slim.
Absolutely. And I was really excited to see the numbers on some of your guys' songs on Spotify, like 10 Feet Tall, obviously being the biggest song on there, 400,000 plays. I was like, that's really good for a rock band that's like trying to build a following. And it speaks to the power of those Spotify playlists a bit. I know you guys have some really good placements on there. Mm-hmm. Got that Allie Higgendorf love.
She is so cool.
She's like she just such a prominent figure in rock and roll. I feel like now most people outside, this is one of those business terms, like everyone in business knows her name, but if you aren't in there, you wouldn't even know that she's like shaping your taste in rock and roll.
100%. Yeah, it's her playlist. Yeah. And I mean, fortunately enough, you know, she digs what we do. Mm-hmm. It's cool though, man. Like, and the Spotify is like, they're literally trying to shell her off. Like, cause she's like, it'd almost be difficult to be her for sure, because you're getting mauled every time you turn around by somebody else with their hand out being like, listen to me, please.
Make me a top 5 playlist. Right. Man.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's crazy. The playlists are the real charts. I'm sorry, Billboard. You're going away.
Yeah.
Like the playlists are the real charts. They're the real definition. And that's another thing that is very difficult, because you know, you've got to be top on playlist, you know, on multiple, or else when you start, if you drop on those playlists, you know, because they're all governed by amount of listeners, things like that. When people start dropping on those playlists, like you're falling down the charts, you know. Absolutely. And that's like, there's like 50 million playlists. So it's like, can you be number 1 at all of them? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a possibility.
I got a press release today. I don't even remember who the artist was, but it was about an artist announcing their album, and the picture at the top of the press release wasn't the album art or the artist art. It was a Spotify playlist that they were the top artist on. So it was like Cool Vibes playlist or something. And I was like, wow, that's how powerful playlisting is. That they're like, forget even showing them the album art. Who cares?
Yeah, we don't care what the artist looks like
or album for this Spotify playlist.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
that's insane. I mean, but hey, respect.
You know? Yeah. At the same time, you're like, I mean, it would be cool to be the rock this cover artist would be a cool thing to be. You're gonna get a million plays.
100%, 100%, 100%.
All right. Well, how long does this tour run for you guys? Through October?
Yeah, we go through October. October, like late October, is like 20th something or whatever.
29th or something like that.
Well, not for that far, but like mid October.
No,
Yeah, and then we cut back. I'm building a bunch of houses in Nashville. One of them being my personal house.
Okay.
So I need to trying to skate back to that because it's getting around like the times we're doing the finishing, like picking out tile and all that stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I mean that's a good business to be in right now, especially in Nashville.
Yeah, man. I'm building a bunch of Airbnbs, me and a friend, and they're pretty sick. They sit on this this ridge that overlooks all of downtown Nashville.
Okay, on the east side, west side?
East side. Like, okay. Are you familiar with Nashville?
Yeah, pretty
okay,
familiar.
So Fern Avenue.
Okay.
Like right behind where Topgolf is, like right up there on that ridge.
Okay. So
just ripping down old hood houses and buildings. So I've got I'll show you in a minute, 3 stories tall. You open the balcony doors and just walk out on my balcony. It's all just Nashville. It's gorgeous.
That's beautiful. I actually just stayed in a tree house outside of Nashville. I can show you, but it was
sick,
amazing. I love those. Yeah, I only travel on Airbnb. But my girlfriend is a regional box office manager for Live Nation, so we spend a lot of time in Nashville, as you can imagine.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I'm familiar with the Airbnb scene.
That is cool. That is cool. That's super cool.
All right, man. Well, let's see what do we. I think we got everything here. EP's out now. Another EP in the works.
Check us out on Instagram. That's where we do the most of our talking.
Just Savage After Midnight.
Yeah, just Savage After Midnight straight up. We do all of our talking on there. So DM us, say what's up,
Perfect.
And we always talk back.
Wonderful. And you guys have videos and songs and all that jazz. And you're on tour with Shinedown this month. This will be out before the tour is over, so people can still grab tickets, hopefully, in their markets.
Yep.
And, yeah, man, thanks for chatting with me today.
Hey, and I love that you love business. That's awesome.
Great.